Go ra on do ra, I say. Mama say ta, I should do, I should take, I should on vibrations every baka. May your mind, buckets, and souls be old. May your homage be sound. May your buckets be leaven off ground. When we keep to the breath, to the earth, to the mouth earth, to the seon, the soul of Ra guides and keeps me iNa. I say Ra. Elai. Say El. Say I. Christ or a chaplain. Tata. Amen Ra. I'm a Truth Awareness True Talk. It can be a part of the greatest transfer of Ma-Elth, that's intelligence, Aminology, to Ungodu. This is sound logic. And with all that being offered to you, being a fool is absolutely your choice. To Ray is Ray 1872. Go to Google, go to Apple, download that Kagadora app. Go to jesus.com, sign up for that immediately. You get access to the Mathorian Kagadora file. You can print it, take it to your local printing shop, display it on your desktop, your mobile. You also get the iBucket to Omen. That definitely gives you the protection you need to proceed in sound logic. You get access to the erectionary.com because you know we got the bomb against the words in the dictionary that die your erection. With that, we teach you Ta'angodu because you know we speak motion. I don't consent to draconian state, nor should you. Hashtag that in your posts. Thought is a spores that spawns intelligence. Identifungi.org. Don't forget your mental health is directly tied to your etheric compass. You got to orientate yourself back to sound. That's Ba'am. That's the solarization you get at jesus.com. We also got the crypto shit shower update, reminding you that the blockchain is not a financial umbrella that you can hold and expect to prevent shit from going splat on your head. We also got the Mathorian Kagadora update where we go back to the associated year. We reject keep in the abyss with no breath, with no voice, with no thought, any happenings that were in disagreement with sound. And also, we forward any events that were in agreement with sound. All right, so we're working. We're growing. We've evolved all these seeds that have been planted and sowed. The Anazi erupted. The Anazi sprouted. The Anazi have risen. So we're going to break that Z word down so that we can have some more support for the understanding of Anazi. Okay? Because listen, just like that tin music that we're all forced to listen to, if it wasn't for those that have ma'elon, not melanin, our memories wouldn't even have an opportunity to remember and make up the big gap of sound that's missing. You got that? So all the things that I'm producing are products of genetic memory. Remembering the route to the ethers. That's why you guys got to really appreciate sound logic and what it's doing for the ethers and what it can do for you. So be a part. Go to jesus.com, savbysound.com, and sign up. Be a part of the bomb. All right. Z. Well, one of the major spells that we have been under is zombie. Okay, so we got to recognize and realize that the parasite wants to take over, right? Lucifer wants to Lucifer is supposed to be the prince, right? The prince is supposed to be the son of the king, right? And one day he wants to take over from his dad, right? You got that? And so you have the Most High, right? You have all these different deities, and basically they're all Z's, okay? That's what they are, all Z's. So we're going to be decoding one by one and breaking down all the Z's and breaking spells and reversing, okay? We got to recognize and realize these word spells and how they play. It's a contorted mirror flip. Okay, the things that we want to desire less are the things that we end up putting ourselves in the situation of actually keeping in that loop of reality. Okay, so the Z, as we explained before, is the last letter of the alphabet. So in a controlled environment, okay, you have to be able to control both sides. Okay, and so when you're thinking about a human and being able to control both sides of the opposition, you have to figure out can a person go against themselves. Okay, well, you part themselves. Okay, so many of us acknowledge that we have a spirit. Some people are fortunate enough to realize that you have an Amit. Okay, and so whether it's sound or whether it's a parasite, regardless, you realize that you have something, that's facilitating the energy. Maybe most of you don't realize that, but it facilitates the energy for your ka, okay, for your shell, for your body. Okay, all right, you got that? So if you can separate the two, then you have an opportunity to control the opposition, right? And so by separating the two, then you have an opportunity, for instance, by separating the spirit, say the spirit agrees with the separator. Okay, so the spirit sides with what was able to divide it. Okay, and so now you have the body. So in the dynamic of the body requires the spirit, or requires energy, it requires charge, okay, to operate, to function. Okay, without a charge, the brain doesn't know, what to do. Okay, and so as I have in the book, The Fall of God's Eyes, right, I explained to you that your eyes are not operating as a sense. Okay, so by fixing your eyes to programming, because they're not connected to your genes, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like the information that your eyes pick up, okay, are not they're not sensed. You know what I'm saying? Unless you sense and then you look, your senses tell your eyes to look. Okay, but it doesn't work the other way. Okay, and so when you have the eyes operating the brain and the senses shut off from the brain, then you have the spirit that controls that body, and the ba has been removed. Now you control all of the opposition, okay, because you control what the eyes see. Okay, whatever the eyes can look at is controlled by the language alone, let alone the physical enforcements, the governments, the military, and all of that stuff. Okay? And so if we can realize in the alphabet that A is supposed to represent, the ether, okay, and Z is supposed to represent what is against the ether. Okay, so Z represents Azazel. It represents Zagan. Okay, it represents Lucifer, anything. Okay, all of the deities. Okay, God, Zeus, like all of that shit. Okay, that's what Z represents. Okay, you got that? So Z represents, just say disagreement. Okay. Now, okay, just say Lucifer. It represents Zion. Okay, all of that stuff is Z. Okay. Now you have Okay, I was the one to teach the world. It means origin of motion. This is sound, thought. Okay, you got that? And then we have B. Okay, let that be the bot. Okay, and then we have the letter I. Okay, so that's going to enforce that that's the ba. Okay, you got that? But they also use that, okay, to represent a division. Okay, you got that? So the zombie, right? The I just tells you that you're dealing with the soul. Okay, soul man. Okay, but the B with the E represents or, which is entity. Okay, so what you have is a Z, a Luciferian soul. Okay, this is what the zombie would tell you. Okay, you got a Luciferian soul. All right, so this is where it is forged, because when you apply it to the word zombie, to what you see a zombie is, number one, it has no brain.